So I was reviewing my to-do list from yesterday, and a whole bunch of things were not done. And I'm like, damn it, the time bandits got me again. Because I know I was busy. I was working all day long, and yet this list of things was not done. So let's talk about time bandits and, the hidden productivity villains, if you will. But before we go into the intro, I would ask that you like, subscribe, and rate this podcast. That would help me tremendously. So let's get to the intro and let's start talking about time bandits, shall we? Welcome to my journey of self-discovery, life balance, career success, and business creation. This podcast works to answer the question of how successful professionals like us stop drifting and get focused on keeping our careers and businesses growing rapidly while having a full, balanced, and vibrant life that we absolutely love. What we call the Third Power Life. And this is the Third Power Life podcast. So as you know, I'm a huge fan of journaling. And every day in my journal, I kind of put the primary things that I really want to get done in a day. What's really important, what needs to happen. And yet many times I will wake up in the morning and I'm using the bullet journal method. So there are a lot of little arrows where that to-do item moved to today, right? And it's like, I've been busy. It's not like, I wrote down my to-do list and then sat back and watched some TV, right? I was doing stuff. I was answering emails. I was writing, copy, working on websites, doing all of that, doing the work, right? And yet I get to the end of the day and my to-do list isn't done. And I was actually at a meeting yesterday. I went and subbed for a good friend of mine at a BNI, Business Networking International meeting. Really fantastic group if you need networking. But one of the things that somebody shared there, and I've heard it before, but I was like, I need to share this because this is so true. This is the time bandits, right? She was like, get out a card and write your to-do list, right? All the things that you need to do today. Now, for me personally, I use my journal. And so she's like, so as you do things, check it off like you would normally do with a to-do list. Then in the back, I want you to write down all the things that you actually do during the day, right? And how many of those items, if they're not on your to-do list, write down what you're doing on the back. And what you will find is those are your time bandits. The things that are taking your time away from doing what's actually important on the front of the card, but you're spending it somewhere else. For me, it's looking through emails and, trying to clear out my inbox. And it's, let me play with AI for a little while and come up with a really cool mid-journey image. Or it's, I need to tweak my Google Analytics or whatever 100 other things, right? Those are time bandits. It's stuff that you can feel good because you were busy, and they are excuse worthy. I was like, well, I was working on my website. I was working on I created a new logo. I wrote a really cool Excel spreadsheet, right? It's things that you are doing that are busy work, but they're not truly in line with where you need to go and what your purpose for the day is. That's why I talk so much about the one thing. So let's get, what's the one thing I need to do such that by doing it, everything else becomes easier or unnecessary, right? That's that one thing question. So I challenge you to do this in your life. Make your to-do list, right? I'm a firm believer. I don't like going like super detailed to-do lists, but what are the main things that I need to do today? And then keep track of what you actually are doing, right? And make that list as you go along of here's what I'm actually doing today. And find out how many of those things do you really need to be doing and how many are just busy work or things that you're doing to procrastinate. That's my personal favorite, is I do stuff that to avoid doing something else that's a little bit more challenging or I'm kind of scared of, right? Guilty. Anyway, so watch out for the time bandits. They will steal your time, and that's the one thing we can never ever get back. So, anyway, until next time, my friends, watch out for the time bandits and live your life to the third power. Talk to you tomorrow. Thank you for listening to the Third Power Life podcast. Before you go, one quick question for you. Where are you on the path of life? Are you just drifting through your life? Are you fully in command, somewhere in between? Well, you can find out where you are now by taking my new Commander Survey. It will tell you where you are on your growth journey and how to move yourself to the next level. You can find the link on the screen or in the show notes. Now, all I want to know now is, where do you stand?